Good day, everyone. My name is Mike Gideon, and I am the face of History Step Street. In today's video, I will be taking you through the journey of the Nigerian Civil War. The Nigerian Civil War is one of the events in Nigeria that is quite, remarkable. Yes, and it actually started in the year 1967, and it lasted up to the year 1970. The military head of state in the year 1967 was General Yakubu Gowon, and the civil war was between Nigeria itself and Biafra. Biafra was led by Major Chukwuemeka Odumegwu. Yeah, and then the Biafran nation is actually the Igbo people, the eastern states, the eastern people. So the civil war is not a new thing to us, but I'm very sure that most of us definitely think the war was just between Nigeria and Biafra, or between Yakubu Gowon and Odumegwu Ojukwu. But we fail to realize, or we don't even know that this war in question was not sponsored by Nigerians. I mean, when we're talking about this civil war, the some Western nations were actually involved. Some Western nations were involved in this war. They sponsored this war. They contributed to the success of this war, which was a detriment to Nigerians. For Nigeria, the Soviet Union, which is now Russia, actually sponsored Nigeria. They provided firearms for Nigeria. They provided even human resources just to make sure that the war was a success in favor of Nigeria. At the other hand, we have France. France actually supported Biafra. They provided firearms for Biafra. They provided even human resources for Biafra. Now, what are the reasons, or what are some of the reasons that made these Western nations to be involved in a national issue, something that an issue that could have belonged to Nigeria alone? Why did they interfere? First, we need to understand that the influence that these Western nations have on us right from the time of colonialism is still very much alive. For example, we know Britain to be the nation that colonized us, and I am very happy to tell you that Britain was also a major factor that led to the success of the war. Actually, Britain also provided firearms for Nigeria. So we can see that the influence that these Western nations have on us is still very much alive. It's still very much is still in full operation. They are still dominating us. They still influence the decisions our leaders make. So despite the fact that we had independence as at 1967, the influence of Britain was still there, even on a military ruler. And that is how it is even up till now. And that is how it is in other African nations. That will be all for this video. In the next video, I will be explaining more about Western influence on Nigeria. Stay tuned. If you are yet to subscribe, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.